Today is going to be a different kind of video. For those of you who don't know, I play War Thunder. I stream it quite often, and I've played this game a lot. I have over 1,000 hours in the game, and I am extremely disappointed in Gaijin. The past couple event vehicles, specifically air event vehicles, have been unique, and I have grinded them myself. Last one that I grinded was the MiG-25, and that was a very unique, very cool aircraft to have. The reason it was good was because it is a vehicle that not everyone wants to play, and it shouldn't be mandatory to get put into the research tree because it's a very weird playstyle, and not everyone wants to play it, so you shouldn't force players to have to research it to progress. Having it as an event vehicle, because it was long awaited, was a perfect addition, and it is unique as it is a gunless aircraft, but it is the fastest aircraft in the entire game. Very, very unique. Another one, the Flapjack, or the Flying Flapjack, the Pancake, the XF5U, I believe is the exact name. I grinded that as well. It is, again, an aircraft that shouldn't be put in the tech tree because it is not a necessarily good aircraft at 5.3, but it is a long-awaited vehicle, and it is, again, unique. It is a very weird helicopter design aircraft that shouldn't be put into the research tree, but again, a fun aircraft, and unique. It's one of a kind. Fast forward to the first air event of 2026, and we have the F-16A in America, but worse. Why do I say that? This is the Dutch F-16A. The reason I say that this aircraft it's worse than copy-paste for players in ground. You have the same loadout as the normal F-16A minus the GBUs, so it can be seen as worse as you have less options than the F-16A in America. You do not have your 4 GBU 8s. Now, this aircraft will play in ARB. I'm going to specifically talk about ARB. It is copy-paste. Technically, it should have a lighter flight model, and it doesn't. So it is a copy-paste at 12.3. What makes it even worse is that adding it to France, we already have a 12.3 event vehicle, the Mirage 2000 CS4. Now, this one used to not be unique, but it is now. They made it a unique aircraft in the French tech tree. At 12.7, you have the Mirage 2000 CS5. Now, what used to be the case was that these two aircraft, the CS4 and the CS5, were identical. They were copy-paste vehicles. However, they moved the CS5 to 12.7 and gave it extra countermeasures while still having the same loadout. This was a great change, in my opinion, as it separated the CS4 as you have a lower battle rating, the same flight model, but you have less countermeasures, or the same flight model with more countermeasures at 12.7. But for this, it's different. The 2000 CS4 has been in the game since 2023/2024. You have 2 IRCCM missiles plus radar-guided missiles at the same BR, and arguably somewhat of a better flight model, depending on who you ask. I personally have many, many hours in the Mirage 2000 CS5. It is one of my most played aircraft. You can see my stats here if you would like. And overall, it is one of my favorite aircraft in the game. I have also played the F-16A a lot. This is also one of my favorite aircraft in the game. It was my first top tier that I grinded back when it was the original top tier. But this was also a unique aircraft. And now that they separated the F-16A from the F-16 Block 15s, as they are now in 13.3, and even the F-16AJ at 12.7, it is separated from that. This is just a copy-paste. What they could have done to make it unique is given it some of its IRL parts. Some of its IRL parts being ECM pods. That would have been unique if those of you don't know, electronic countermeasure pods, which essentially counters incoming radar missiles. This could have been a unique system to have at 12.3, as you will only really use it when you're in 13.0 and 13.3 matches, as well as in ground RB at 12.0 when you get up tiered, because you're going to face a lot of enemy players with active radar homing missiles. This could have been a unique vehicle, as it could be the lowest BR aircraft in the game with an ECM pod, because they are going to add ECM pods eventually, and it could have been an introduction to see how the mechanic will work. It could have been a cool introduction to see how players react to ECM pods, how they function, other things like that. But no, they didn't add it. Another thing that they could have added was the Orpheus Aerial Reconnaissance Pod. Now, this essentially is a Specialized Aerial Intelligence Gathering System, which, for those of you who don't know, it essentially means it can see planes really far. In AirRB, this wouldn't be too useful unless they added this mechanic back. Back in the day, you were able to use a ground targeting pod in AirRB to scout the entire enemy team because you can see them from farther away. This was an oversighted mechanic and it was patched, but it was in the game for a substantial amount of time, and it was used in top tier a lot to get positioning on players, which could have also been unique on the F-16A. Maybe it's the only aircraft in the game that can scout forward, and it would have been a cool introduction to aerial reconnaissance pods, to top tier. Maybe this is the lowest BR aircraft with a reconnaissance pod, making it unique. And then the next BR that we can see it at is maybe 13.3, right? That could have been a unique addition. But no, it is a copy-paste vehicle. This is a terrible addition to the game. It could have been unique, but they chose not to make it unique and chose the arguably safer route of making it just a copy-paste. If you are going to grind this vehicle, save your time, you don't have to, but if you really want to grind this vehicle, get it, sell it, and be done with it. It is not worth it. You have the Mirage 2000 CS4 at the same BR, in the same tech tree. Buy that. It is more worth it than the F-16A. The only reason you would grind it is if you're a French main, or a France main, and you want this for ground RB. The F-16A option with guided munitions and 65Bs. It's the same one. This has a better ground RB loadout because it also gets 9Ms at the same ground BR of 12.0. You get 9Ms instead of 9Ls. You get countermeasures, extra countermeasures if you need them. You can take dumb bombs plus GBUs. These are the GBU-8s that the F-16 is missing. I don't even know anymore. This was a lazy addition. This was an extremely lazy addition. It says that it's a block 5 even though it's a copy-paste. The only way that I can see them saving this is to buff it. They have changed aircraft in the past in events. The most noteworthy one is the F-14A Iranian Tomcat. This thing was 12.7. Should it have started at 12.7? No. But after people grinded it, after about a month of people selling it, it went up to 13.0, which is still good at 13.0. It's not the best at 13.0, but it's good at 13.0 because it needed a nerf at its respectable BR. 13.0, it's a great BR for it. It had a unique missile loadout compared to the other F-14s. It has one of the best Fox 3s in the game, the Fakor 90. It has Sigils, which is another great missile, underrated missile in my opinion. It is the only American jet with R-27s. This was a unique addition, and it has the Yasir rocket, which is another forgotten feature. This thing is not unique. It's a worse copy-paste, and it just does not make any sense. Next update, we're getting AIM-120Ds, rank 9, and you're giving us a copy-paste F-16. This could have been so much more. You could have given us the F-16XL. That would have been an instantly better event vehicle, because it's a unique addition to the game. If they want to make it unique, they can buff it later. Give it the Orpheus Pod, give it ECM Pods. It needs something. It needs something. This is going to be a forgotten aircraft. You're going to play it in game, no one will notice that you're different, specifically in AirRB. Even in ground RB, people are going to be like, oh, it's an F-16, not, oh my god, that's the F-16 Block 5. No one's going to know. No one's going to care. No one cares about this aircraft, and that's the issue. If you're going to grind it, grind out the entire event so you can sell it. You need 45,000 mission points per task. The upgrade coupon requires 750,000 mission score. What is this camouflage? Okay, that's a unique camouflage. I like that. But even if you add that, even if you get all 9 marks of distinction, you are barely halfway there. So if you are able to grind the full 750,000 mission score, which is an absurd amount, go for it. If you have that amount of time, go for it. If you can't commit 8 hours a day playing War Thunder for that mission score, just forget this aircraft. It's not worth the keep. I hope you guys enjoy your day. Don't grind this aircraft. It is not worth it. You're much better just grinding America, waiting for the next update, because this aircraft is just not worth it. But anyway, see ya.